I am coming to you live this morning from Longhorn Lester's. I'm in our live shack. That's what we call it. That's our little camper here at Longhorn Lester's. And we spend a lot of time here. And the live shack or the camper, the RV, makes it possible to sort of have home away from home. And so we're real blessed for this place. And this morning, I want you to know this is not our regular Sunday live. This is a something special that I wanted to do. I don't really like doing gifts and goodies. You guys already know that. I have a weird feeling about doing gifts and goodies in an economy like the one that we're going through right now, with a lot of folks struggling, with hard times right past the pandemic, yet there's still people who are getting sick, here and there. And I've felt really weird about doing gifts and goodies. I just don't feel like it doesn't feel right. But at the same time, I know that folks that send stuff don't do it to be acknowledged, but it's just feels good to say thank you. And so I thought that what I would do this morning is, in lieu, and we'll still do our regular Sunday live later. And we'll show you some puppies later. We'll show puppies later. I'm not reading any comments right now because all y'all want to talk about is puppies. And I'm not talking about puppies right now. But listen, I am at Longhorn Lester's, and I was going through and doing a lot of cleanup, trying to get everything ready for Jamie's big work event coming up. And I found something, and I felt so horrible that it's been sitting on a shelf for who knows how long. Look how dusty and the cobwebs. And I found two of them. One says Fiona, one says Mildred or Millie, and I had never opened them. I have no idea what's inside of them. And I says, Jamie, if you don't mind, it is Sunday morning, and it is a blessing, to be able to have folks that enjoy things like this. So I'm just going to go do a quick live and open some things that I've gotten over the past, well, some things over the past couple of weeks. But obviously, these over here were things that we had brought over to do in a gifting goodies. And I somehow put them somewhere and just now ran across them. And I feel horrible about that. Um, so I'll if you so this is going to be a simple gifting goodies live. It's not going to be too long, and it's not going to take the place of our regular Sunday live. Okay. And just getting that out there. And then, of course, if you're here to see animals only, and that's fine, lots of folks only come for the animals. There's not going to be any animals in this video. I'm not going to get emotional because that happens a lot when I do gifts and goodies or when I read letters. There are a couple of letters here that I can't wait to read, but I'm going to stay composed today, best I can. Anywho, I want to show you real fast something else that I have here at Longhorn Lester's that might be the funniest or one of the funniest gifts I've ever received. You know that when Jamie and I first began to move some things over to Longhorn Lester's, we were excited about having the big shop and all of the shelves. And our plan was to have a section of the shelves that would be like our survival gear, our bug out, stuff. In a world gone mad, everyone needs to have a plan B, right? And so I was talking about that. And then it reminded me of when I was blessed to be able to go and do the episode with Bear Grylls, how I joked with Bear Grylls about if I just had uh some A1 sauce, I could eat anything. Because you always know that when you go with Bear, there's going to be a physical challenge, there's going to be a mental challenge, and there's going to be you're going to have to eat something. You're going to have to eat something. And so I knew that Bear was going to do that. And so I was hoping he would allow me to bring some A1 sauce along for whatever he was going to make me eat. They would not allow that, unfortunately. But it was cute because I talked about that in a video. And if this was not a gift that I received a week later, and the kind sender told me to put this in my bug out shelter, our place here in my shelves where I have all of my survival gear. So just in case that day ever comes, let's hope to God it doesn't. But I have to bug out. I can always survive eating anything you can find around here as long as I have my A1 sauce. I'm not promoting A1 sauce. I don't have sponsors like that, okay? But that's funny. That's one of the funniest gifts I ever got. It made me laugh, and I still chuckle now when I see all of those packets of A1 sauce, because there's in fact 300 packets in there. That means there'll be 300 meals that I'll be able to ingest and somehow get down as long as I have my A1 sauce. And that's funny. Another funny gift that I'd received that Jamie made a reel about it, one of those Facebook short videos, the reels, is when I got the costume. You sent me a an ostrich costume, and it was the dumbest looking costume ever. I put it on, and Jamie joked that it looked like I was. I'm not going to talk about what it looked like I was doing, but it's a very funny reel. And so those are the funniest gifts I've ever received. I've gotten a lot of sentimental gifts, letters, and things that people say have always affected me deeply. And you already know that. So, but no, a couple of things that I thought I would mention before we get started on our gift and goodie this morning. So I'll read a couple of comments. Lots of people are talking about the weather, and I still do that. I find myself talking about the weather. I don't like to, but farm life and living, working with animals and working outdoors, a lot of what you do depends on the weather. And so sometimes it's just natural to start off a video talking about the the weather. Funny story is, we're thinking about when I used to teach school, and I always taught language arts. We had to teach our students that you always have to, the setting, the time, and the place. And a big part of the setting, oh my God, the Chiefs play today. That's right. Oh my goodness, I know what Ellie's going to be doing. And you know what? We might should actually consider doing our live later in the day, not at that 2 o'clock hour, because even though not everybody are football fans, we're in playoffs. This is the playoffs. And so Jamie and I will go live today for a fact. And last Sunday, we waited and went later, and I forgot that because there was a lot of big football games on, and we had people say that it was going to be hard. So one lady actually told us that she watches the game because her husband wants her to, but she's listening to us, which is kind of funny. We'll talk more about that later. But yeah, lots of big games on. Lots of people commenting about the big games yesterday. Did the Chiefs play yesterday? I don't know. My son is the Chiefs fan. I'm not. I am not. Yeah, I've always been loyal to local teams. So the way it's been with me, it's always been the Astros in baseball, the Texans in football, and of course the Rockets in basketball, the local Houston teams. No matter what, no matter how good or how bad they were, I never jumped on bandwagons of great teams. I've always been loyal to my Houston local teams. But then it's funny because then if all of my Houston teams are eliminated, then I'll go to my regional teams. So the Dallas Mavericks, the Dallas Cowboys, the San Antonio Spurs, or whoever is local. I want to stay true to, and then I'll slowly spread out. And then if all of the Texas teams are eliminated in whatever sport, then I'll go ahead and pick and choose based on different things like that. So the Chiefs won. No surprise there. They're a very talented and amazing team. And so they should win. But if the Cowboys are playing today, then I'm not going to take you all away from football for a live just to look at some puppies. But we will do that later, okay? I promise you, we will do that later tonight. Dallas Cowboys play tonight. Oh my God, I don't know. Jamie and I are going to have a lot of work to do to look up football schedules because I don't want to inconvenience anybody. Well, I guess I'm coming live now. Then let's go ahead and get started, so I don't keep you too long. But let's open these things first. Look how this is how dirty and dusty the shop can get. We leave the doors open because I want the dogs to be able to come in and out when they want to, and I don't want to ever have them closed up. So, opening this first one. Oh my goodness gracious, look at this. That says Fiona. Isn't that beautiful? And this heavy duty, this is a very heavy duty. I was surprised when I opened the box and saw that it was a dog, either water bowl or food bowl, because it's very heavy duty. And this is beautiful, and it has her name on it. That reminds me of the sweet lady who's already claimed one of the puppies. The one that she wants to call Holly. She decided to go ahead and keep the name Darlene, but have it Holly Darlene is going to be the little puppy's name. And she sent me a picture of she got a food and water bowl already made with the name. Was it Darlene? Holly Darlene is what she's going to call her. She's going to keep the name that I gave her, but she wants to call her Holly. And so she already has a food bowl. She sent me a picture of her bedding, sent me a picture of their backyard, of her husband. I don't know why she sent a picture of her husband, but she wanted me to see her husband. So I know what her husband looks like. That is the craziest thing ever. I'm getting a picture of a man in my email. And I'm like, I never said, if you want a puppy, send me a picture of your spouse. I never said that. But I got one from her. Name is Norma. And she seems to be a very sweet lady. But she's a retired school teacher. Hey, I'm not biased at retired school teachers, y'all. Don't even think it's something like that. But Norma sent me a picture of everything. And I'm really happy to know that Holly Darlene is going to be a part of our lives for a long, long time, because I know that Miss Norma is the kind of lady who's going to always make sure to include pictures and videos of what's going on with that little pup. That's exciting. So we got one from Mildred also. Now, the unfortunate thing, there might be a label on the top. No, there's not. There's no way to find out who this was from, and there's nothing on the inside of the boxes to tell me. But that was very kind of you, sweet Cinder. So a food bowl for Mildred or Millie and Fiona. Thank y'all for that. Yeah, I am shaking cold. I have the heater turned off, and it's 59 degrees inside here, which should not be that cold. It's a lot colder outdoors, I promise you. But I do got the shakes, but these are not the anxiety shakes. This is the cold chills shakes. Anywho, let's move on. Thank you for those bowls. Those are very, very nice. So I'm seeing Go Bengals from Teresa Eulenhake. Now, Teresa, I believe you live somewhere near Cincinnati. Do you not? Teresa, I remember when I first said her name, I said ukulele. Jake said ukulele. We've all said Teresa ukulele because it just looks like ukulele. And then she sent me an actual audio recording of her pronouncing her name. I played that for you all, and it was Teresa Eulenhake. Lester, I'm Teresa Eulenhake. So that was funny. So Cowboys play at 6:30 Eastern. That would be, if it's Eastern 6:30, then it's 5:30 Central where we're at. So you know what? What's happening tonight around 8? What's going on around 8? And who's busy tonight around 8? We went live last Sunday at 8 and had a really nice audience. So if anyone's not busy tonight around 8. All right, here's one to I'm a Survivor Sanctuary. And listen, I'm going to say this right now. Whenever I see handwriting like that, it makes me think that the sender might be a little bit older, a senior. And I love letters in general. I just love letters, period. Now, the scary thing about getting a letter from a senior is seniors will tell you exactly what's on their mind. That could be full of love, or it could be full of something else. So I don't know. This is from a crazy cat lady. I'm seeing right over here, a crazy cat lady. So that's awesome. But no, seniors, God bless them, because they will tell you exactly what's on their mind. Hey, Lester, I live in a city in California called Lompoc. It's close to Vandenberg Space Force Base, aka Air Force Base in the city of Solvang. There's a place called Ostrich Land. They have over 100 birds, including emus. I thought maybe they could help you with Tina. They might have a doctor they can get together with you there to address the issues. And then she sends me the address and the phone number and even their website. And then she puts over. She wants me to turn this over. I hope this helps. Sorry if my handwriting is bad. I love your videos and all that stuff. Look, can y'all read that? I love your videos and all that stuff. That's beautiful. It says lots of love, Crazy Cat Lady. Well, Crazy Cat Lady, thank you very much. Now, this is obviously a little bit older because Tina's been doing fine. Tina's gotten a little bit better. And then she sends me a little tiny little thing of her address, which I'm not going to share on the live. But thank you so very much for the letter and for thinking about Tina. And oh, so a lot of folks here are telling me that I'm pronouncing all of those names wrong. So I'm pronouncing all of those cities in California wrong. And I'm sorry. You know what? I guess they're smaller towns, and I've never really, I have never heard of any of those towns. Or the bird, is it a sanctuary or a rescue? I'm not real sure, but I promise you this, I will look it up because now I'm intrigued. Oh, all right. Let's go to the next letter here. Oh, well, look, please read online. You may read online. Please read online. You may read online. Okay. That's great that you told me that because sometimes I have been guilty of reading things online that I probably shouldn't have. And then there's been times that I've read just the most beautiful letters and I did not read them online. And I wish I could have had an audience to share them with because they're just beautiful things people can say. All right, so let me open this up here. Give me a second or so. Now there's a little plastic baggie with something inside of it. I hope that's not someone's tooth. I hope to God that's not someone's tooth because who knows what kind of things people will send in the mail these days. But there's something tiny inside of here. And it's in a little plastic baggie. And the only reason I say tooth is because when my kids would lose their teeth, I would put them in little baggies. And of course, for the tooth fairy, obviously. All right, here we go. Now, this is in cursive and it's small writing. All right. Hello, Lester. My grandson is a big fan of yours. All right, so you must not know the rule. We don't do all that fan stuff. I will never refer to anyone as fan. I would rather just refer to you as our social media family. We're just a big old happy family here. But that's sweet. Now, it's also scary. It's also scary when you have a kid, a child, I don't know how old her grandson is, watching the videos because I'm just going to say this. All of our videos, when you build or you create a page, you have to designate if your videos are made for children or not. And we made sure that ours were not for kids because sometimes things happen. You end up, sometimes animals have intercourse and, you don't film that necessarily, but you talk about things. You talk about animals having babies, or you may show animals having babies. You talk about farm life, and y'all, farm life is as real as it gets. And so, yes, someone sent something one time that made a lot of sense. It was a sign that you put onto the entrance to your property that says, this is a farm, a real farm. Animals smell, animals poop, animals have sex, animals. And so they just listed all these things that you have to learn to live with if you're going to visit a farm. And so as a farm channel, we were pretty much not forced. It was always a choice. But we know that if we made a channel for kids, then you have to make sure that it's very kid friendly. And talk about moderators that work for Facebook and YouTube to make sure, and it's a good thing they do. It's a good thing they do to keep those kid channels kid friendly. So no, ours would never pass for that. But no, her grandson is a fan of ours. He loves everyone on Morrow Hill, but she says that I am his favorite. Oh, I have had I've had both him and his brother since birth. Their mother wasn't ready to be a mother. She did not know or want to know the first thing about being a parent. So listen, so that's not real uncommon. It might be a generational thing. I don't know this for a fact, and I can't speak for women. I cannot speak for women. Well, you know what? I can say one thing about women. I can say one thing about women that I know for a fact, that a woman's job, motherhood in general, being a mother is the hardest job on the planet. And don't you let any man or any business professional woman, anybody tell you otherwise. But being a mom is the hardest job on the planet. There's not a more stressful job. I'm going to cry about moms. I'm going to cry about moms for some reason. I don't know why, but I'm going to cry about moms all of a sudden. There's not a more stressful job. There's not a more tiring job. There's not a more fulfilling job than being a mom to children. And whenever one of us men have to step in and play the role of mom, be it in my case, I've had long weekends with Lex, and then I have the 45 days in the summer when I have Lex. Now Lex is 10 now, but Maria and I went our separate ways when Lex was very young, when he was about 3. And so it was terrifying. It was terrifying to have a 3-year-old in your home, your child, but it's still a 3-year-old baby at that point in your home and not knowing things. And sometimes they can't always find the words to tell you what they need. But moms have this instinctual thing they can do, and they just know. They just know. So I really really admire, ma'am, that you're doing this with your grandkids, making them your own, because you've already raised some kids and now you got to raise some more. And bless you for doing that. All right, let me move on. Oh, I said I'm not going to get emotional, and look at me already. Okay, let's move on. So when I said generational thing, what I mean by that is I taught school, for a very long time, 25 years in the classroom, and this is my 3rd year driving a bus. But I know I've had a lot of students that their guardian is grandparent. Now, I worked in an inner city school in Houston. We were inside the Beltway, which is inside the Beltway. It's inner city, and I don't think that was a factor because I had white, brown, and black students, who lots of kids came who live with grandparents. So I would not say it's a ethic. I'm just going to stop talking about it. I'm just going to move on. I think it's a generational thing. But bless you for being there for them kids and for being a mama to them. And I do hope, I really do hope that at some point their mother will begin to realize what she's missing out on, and she'll begin to take an active role in their lives before it's too late, because that's going to affect her at some point in her life. It will affect her that she missed out on her kids' childhood, but it's also going to affect the children. More importantly, those kids are going to at some point realize that mom, sometimes dad, never took an active role in our childhood, and that can leave very long-term and lasting effects. Okay, let's move on. I'm going to have to put my glasses on, friends. All right, this is a lot easier. I have enjoyed, and I would not do it all over again, on taking both Chase and Camden. Camden has been watching you for over a year, and he watches Jamie as well. They've seen Jamie planting fruit trees on the Longhorn Lester property, and they wanted to have you to try your green thumb on an orange seed, so you could have an orange tree as well. So this must be an orange seed, not a tooth. Okay. Whew. An orange seed. Okay. Camden said it was a sign because it come from a seedless mandarin. Oh, so it was a seedless orange yet there was a seed they found. So he wants us to grow that here. He is keeping you, I'm sorry. He is hoping you will read this and receive his gift online since he can only watch on YouTube. Well, we're on YouTube, Camden. I am also a fan. No, you're a family. You're a member of our social media family. And I'm the one who got them hooked on you by showing them videos of Tex and Billy. They were hooked from then on. Yeah, Tex and Billy have had some fun, haven't they? Um, like you, we try to do everything in our power to make our kids happy. So I wrote this to go with the orange seed. He also wants me to send oatmeal for Trudy, Tiny Tim, Peggy, and Newton. We love that you are down to earth. And I myself grew up on a farm, a dairy farm, lots of hard work. But at the end of the day, you feel like you've accomplished something worthwhile. Good luck with your seed, and hopefully you will have oranges for you and for the babies. Thank you. Oh, she put your extended family. Yes, ma'am. Tina Morris, Chase Morris, and Camden Morris. Well, thank you all for that letter and for watching the videos and for loving the babies and for helping that we can get us some oranges to grow here. Now, what I'm going to do is give this to Jamie. I'm going to pass this on to Jamie, and she'll do all the necessary research and reading, and she will be able to figure out how to hopefully get that thing to grow. And that would be really, really neat to have oranges growing here. I didn't see what state you guys are in. Asheville, Ohio. Asheville, Ohio. So if they can grow oranges, well, wait, she didn't say they grew them there, though. I don't know. Can oranges grow in Texas? I think they can because I'm pretty sure I've seen people with orange trees because they get so heavy, sometimes the limbs will hang almost to the ground. Yeah. So you also say you have grew up on a dairy farm and that you know how much work it is. And at the end of the day, it's very fulfilling. I That is certainly true. It's a lot of work. Now, I made a video yesterday that I haven't published yet because I'm actually debating on whether I should publish it in the first place. Because in the video, I actually say, okay, this is where you can all get your rotten fruit and get ready to throw it at me because people don't like when I say my truth, my truth. This is the way that I see it. And in this particular video, I talk a little bit about L.E., my son, my oldest son, Jacob, my nephew, and Ben. All three of these young men who work at I'm a Survivor Sanctuary, they actually get paid for jobs they do at I'm a Survivor. And Jamie and I went by and we wanted to really have the new year, 2023. We wanted to get back to our roots and really make I'm a Survivor as beautiful as it can be, as it used to be, and what it needs to be. And so we specified to each of the guys what their job is, and so I made a video about that. I made a video about that, about us talking to the fellas and outlining what each of their roles are and how they each play such an integral part in the success, or let's say the continued success, of I'm a Survivor. But in that video, I said something, and I'm going to go ahead and explain it to you guys now. So hopefully you can defend me when the time comes. If I publish it, I say that the kids I call them kids. I don't mean that in a derogatory way, but the young men who work for I'm a Survivor do not have the same values that this lady has, and that I have. Because here's why I say because they don't value the land, the heritage, the history of everything. They don't see the beauty around them because, and I'm going to say this is the part that you're going to start throwing things at me, and you might even get mean here. I don't know if you will or not, but it's going so fast I can't read them anyways. But my grandpa and my dad had us out working as kids, as little kids. I know, don't say that child labor stuff. No, that doesn't apply in the country, y'all. So you get out there as a child and you work, and you begin to see the fruits of your labor. And over the years of working with your hands in the heat and the cold, be it baling hay in the summers or fixing fence, which is a year-round project, or find, whatever you had to do, working in the garden, over time, you begin to develop a love of what you do. You may hate it at the time. You may not like doing the chores that have to be done. You may be jealous of all the kids who live in the city, who live in the apartments or city homes that don't have to do this kind of work. But there also comes a time in your life when you look back and you say, man, I wouldn't trade it for nothing, because how accomplished it makes you feel to look and see the visual fruits of your labor. And then obviously, after Hurricane Harvey happened and everyone found themselves having to rebuild, then you, in a way, you've had to do it twice. You had to do it twice, and it does. It's very empowering to look out there sometimes, and you just sit there in the sunset, not on video, but on your own time, when it's just you and God, and you look around and you just see all the beauty around you. And then, you would never walk by and see a piece of trash and just walk past it. You would never walk by and see a trash can tipped over and leave it. There's some things that you just can't do because it just defaces everything. And so I've gotten on to Jake and Ben and Ellie, my own son, so many times for not being more passionate about I'm a survivor or anything, their vehicles, the tractor, respecting and loving what you've been blessed with. And I talk a little bit about that. But then I also point fingers of guilt at me and my brother Dan, just as me, just for a couple of us, because we never made our kids get out and work the way a lot of our parents made us get out and work. So a lot of the habits that are instilled in us adults, they were instilled there from a hardworking grandparent or a hardworking parent who really did believe in those kind of values, and they wanted us to grow up and have that sense of pride. And then something else that my mom come along and taught us later was that being poor is no excuse for being dirty. And so, we never had money growing up. We never had money, never. And so we were poor. I don't mind admitting that now. We were poor, but being poor was never an excuse for being dirty. And my mama taught us that. And so there were some lessons. And so my mama always made us clean our rooms every day. You made your bed every day. And mama made us do our chores around the house, and we helped with dinner. We helped with cleanup. And all of us four kids, Kim, me, Tina, and Dan, we all worked, y'all. We worked from little. And here we are as grown adults, and all of our homes are still clean. All of our yards are tidy. And I think that mom and dad would be real proud of the way we keep everything cleaned up. But our children, we made mistakes by not making them and forcing them to work. We let our kids have their phones. We let our kids have their video games. We let our kids have a lot of the things that we wanted. We wanted our kids to be happy and our kids to have fun, and we never really made our kids work. And so now that our kids are grown, now they don't have those same values instilled in them. And so we're having to treat them like employees instead of kids that just naturally respect and love and take care of the animals in the land. And so that's not being derogatory towards any particular family member, or I don't want to even say that towards the generation of kids, because I know it all depends on what kind of upbringing you had. And all of us, me and my siblings, would all tell you real fast that we're guilty of not making our kids work as hard as we had to. And now this generation is going to really suffer. And I'm so glad I see people agreeing with me and that my mom was right. Because this is where a lot of people get upset, because you love Ben. And I'm glad that you do. And you love Jake, and you love my son, Ellie. And I'm so blessed and they're blessed that you love them. and that you want to defend them like they're your own kids. But we also have to be real in the fact that sometimes the kids are still kids. So they're not kids. The young men can still want to resort back to just rushing through a job. Yesterday, anyway, can I move on? This was supposed to be about gifts and goodies, not me getting on to the generation of kids. You bunch of lazy little brats. That's not what I'm saying. But this lady brought it up, and I just kind of gave her my agreement that, yeah, working on a farm is hard, and it can really build some character in you. All right. So I have about 4 packages. Y'all have time for 4 packages? And then there's a parcel. And then there's something, whatever you call this. And then I'll be done. I promise. I will not keep you the whole morning. Even though I've been known to ramble on for a while. I have been known to ramble. Man, I hope that y'all are agreeing with me. I haven't read the comments by and far, but it's never surprising. I feel like I'm shaking the entire camper trying to get this thing open. Whoa. Okay. So this comes to Lester Morrow. Now, sometimes when you get stuff like this, you don't know if because there's nothing in here to tell me if it's from an individual or if it's from a company. There's nothing in here. So these are solar gutter lights. All-weather construction. They have a white finish, 50 lumens. It's a 2-pack, and it comes to Lester Morrow. So sometimes folks will send you a product in hopes that you'll use the product, and then even without necessarily being a sponsor of your channel or for you, representing them, it will give them some exposure. It gives them some exposure. And so thank you for the lights. I don't know exactly who the company is. Honestly, it never says the name. It never says the name of the company, which is kind of bizarre. It just says solar gutter lights. And it comes to Lester Morrow. And it comes to the I'm a Survivor property. I'm sorry. Creative Industries is where it comes from. Creative Industries. So thank you, Creative Industries. And we certainly will find a use for lights. So thank you for that. All right, let's see over here. Another one comes to I'm a Survivor, but it comes to Lester at I'm a Survivor. We normally, I'll let you guys know this. Anything that comes to I'm a Survivor, for the most part, gets sorted out by my nephew Ben. If it says Lester, he'll put it in my truck, and I always promise to bring it over here, or maybe the back of the side-by-side to do a gift and goodies if I have a chance. If it says Jamie, he'll put it on the front porch. He'll also sort everything to Mom, Dad, Jake, whoever it goes to. But if it just says I'm a Survivor, then he'll open it himself and put it where it goes. Because many times it's for something for the animals. And so you should know that if you send a package to I'm a Survivor, but you don't specify who it's to, it probably gets opened and sorted, and you may not see it in any of these videos. So this over here says a gift for you. Hi, Lester. I sent these for Jamie for when she's alone at each property. These complement the head torches and should hopefully make her feel safer. Okay, what is this? I don't think Jamie really feels scared because Jamie always has the dogs. She has the dogs, y'all. And trust me, Jamie knows how to use a gun. What is this? What are these? They complement the head torches. Oh, Lord. Okay. So, wait, is this some kind of like a mace or bear spray? I almost tried to open it. I'm glad I didn't. Warning, eye and skin irritant. Okay, so I'm guessing that Jamie has that to spray. No, I'll tell you what Jamie does. um, what Jamie does have, Jamie's not going to spray you. If you're someone who thinks you're going to sneak up and be creepy and weird around Jamie, Jamie knows how to fire a rifle. Her favorite shooting rifle. So Jamie has a a 38 revolver that I bought her and taught her how to shoot. That stays in her. I'm not going to tell you where she keeps her revolver because that's probably giving away too much information. Someone says that's pepper spray, Lester. Pepper spray. And then but Jamie's favorite shooting gun, the revolver is small. And if you don't know this, you probably don't care, but if you don't know this, a small but heavy shooting handgun actually puts a lot of it's hard. It's hard on Jamie for her small hand to shoot a small handgun, even though it has a large caliber bullet. Too much information, Lester. I'm trying to let you know that Jamie's going to not pull out pepper spray. She's going to pull out her pistol or grab my rifle on you. And I don't care if that's too much information. You should probably know that you come around here, Jamie's not going to, stop. Don't mess with me. No, Jamie's going to, you're not going to want to mess with Jamie, okay? And so I also taught Jamie how to use the, we have a, oh my gosh, my mind just went blank. We have a 22 rifle that is a semi-automatic that shoots a long rifle shot that Jamie prefers to shoot because it's a lot easier on her. It's a lever action, so she has the, and you've all seen that little dumb turquoise color one of hers that is a semi-automatic that you put that clip in there with 10 rounds and you can pow, 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 pow 10 times. So Jamie is a gun shooter. She doesn't like guns. She's not one that is one of those big AR-15 toting kind of women, but she does know how to shoot guns. And so what I do with Jamie all the time, Jamie, I would like her to come here and talk about this herself. Because we have this philosophy, and I always tell Jamie that you can't wait to learn how to use your gun the minute that you need it or the moment that you need it. You have to always be prepared. And so we have these dumb things that I do with both of my kids and Jamie, and I call them what if scenarios. So I put this is probably too much information because this is embarrassing that I make my family go through what if scenarios. So for example, with Lex, this is the I'll tell you the funniest thing that just happened with Lex recently. So you know that Lex and I on the one night a week that Jamie, you want to come here or not? I put Jamie and all my kids through what if scenarios. So this is a really funny one that happened with Lex. But you know that we stay in the motel some nights whenever I have Lex and the Houston traffic. You already know about that video. But we were at the motel and we were on the third floor. And I says, we're going up in the elevator.
I'm really gross right now.
You're gross. Jamie says she's gross. No one's going to judge.
I probably have spider webs in my hair.
I'm talking about the what if scenarios. Hold on. And then I come to find out there's a football game coming on this afternoon. Wow. So we're going to have to move our live to around 7:30 or 8 o'clock at night if you're okay with that. I already said that if you're okay with it being later.
Yeah, as long as I
after
can shower
the football game. Yeah.
Between now and then.
We're talking about what if scenarios, and someone sent you some pepper spray.
Huh.
And I says, I don't think Jamie's going to use it though, because if you ever have a problem, number one, you have the dogs. You always have the dogs. Wherever Jamie's at, she has the dogs. And we have some really good dogs. They'll let you know everything. But number two, I doubt you would ever pull out pepper spray. Instead, I said, you have a 38. You have your little turquoise colored or whatever color you call that. Tiffany blue 22, but you like shooting
I do like the
lever action. You want to talk about you and your guns and why I talked about us going through what if scenarios with you?
Well, yeah, I mean, it is important to be out here alone and
or anywhere, even that I'm a survivor alone.
Well, I guess I'm not out in Texas alone.
Any state alone.
No, because it's not legal like that in every state. That's what I'm saying. So like pepper spray is what I was going to say is pepper spray is actually great for when I travel in my car out of state of Texas, because out of the state of Texas the laws change, and it's not they aren't as lenient, liberal.
So pepper spray can be taken anywhere with you then,
Almost, except for a plane.
except for on a plane.
Yeah, but if I'm doing a road trip somewhere, it's great because it's very handy to keep in your purse, and to be able to utilize. So I definitely will. That's a great gift. As far as the gun scenario, like for me, I don't have like this burning desire to like, oh,
sorry,
to go like learn to, be really great at using it, but you've taught me how to use it and taught me about the what ifs and taught me about the safety of it and everything else. So, yeah, I feel confident in my ability to at least scare someone off and let them know that I have a gun.
Yeah, fire it into the ground or wherever you have to fire it to let them know that because usually, listen, let's be honest. If someone knows that you're gun toting, I can promise you that you're a whole lot less likely to ever be in that kind of situation if they know that there could be something waiting for them. And so it's not about a political stance, y'all. We're not taking political stances here, but Jamie knows how to use a gun. And I taught her that. And that's something that I'm proud of. And I feel safer knowing that she knows that. Because can I talk about your very first gun experience from years ago and how you almost, yes. So you know that Jamie doesn't have experience with handling a weapon. And I just thought that everyone had a general sense of handling weapons. I just thought that everyone knew the basics, but they don't. They don't. You have to be trained that. And so we had a predator come onto our property. It was a wild hog. And this was partially my fault because I was trying to hold the flashlight and carry the rifle because I have a large caliber rifle. And I was trying to do two things at the same time. And Jamie was following behind me, screaming and hollering. And so really there's three things at the same time. There's three things at the same time having to.
I was not screaming and hollering.
You had some nervous energy flowing through you because we had a wild boar hog in our pastures after our littles. And so it was a nerve-wracking time. So I went out with the rifle, the flashlight,
oh my God,
and Jamie.
Michelle's like, was she in her white tennis shoes? No, I had boots at that point, okay?
Yeah, she may have had boots at that point. Someone says, everyone, welcome to Texas. Yeah, well, I don't think it's just Texas now. Come on. But anyway, so here's the bottom line. I shoot the wild hog and I says, hold my rifle. And I take the flashlight to go over and make sure that it's dead. Okay. And that was a big mistake.
Because he handed to me cocked and loaded without the safety on. I didn't know. I would assume he just shot. Why would he reload it? So I have it in my hand.
So that was my mistake. That was the mistake that I made by not realizing that I should have guaranteed that it was unloaded, safety on before I handed her the rifle. Because I give her the rifle and I begin to walk back to the dead boar hog, and all of a sudden, boom! And I turn around and I thought she had in the darkness, I'm giving you every option to, it's my fault.
Well, here's the thing.
But she pulled the trigger instead of holding it. She pulled this trigger.
In my hand, I was holding the gun.
And she could have blew her foot off.
And didn't realize that it was loaded or anything like that. I didn't have my hand on the trigger, but I stumbled. So I reached it to grab the gun in a better grip so I wouldn't drop it.
That was a very dangerous thing, and we would not condone that. And so since that day, it has made me remember that Jamie was not born and raised her whole life around weapons. And so we've just done a lot of weapons training with Jamie.
I also know to ask, and I also know that I'm going to grab different areas. Like, it was dark, it was reactionary, like it was so split second quick, and I could have blown my foot off. Fortunately, it was pointing at the ground, so
shame on me is right. Some people are saying shame on you, Lester. Yes, shame on me because it could have hurt Jamie bad. I'm glad she was at least holding it facing downward, so she at least
It was
knew
a
that.
scary moment. And then Lester in reaction was like irate, and then I'm just
I
like,
just thought that you never touched the trigger, never. You
but I didn't
hands
even mean to touch
I
the
know,
trigger.
I know, I know, I know, I know. I'm not mad about it,
Well,
but
no, it's been years now, and I've learned a lot. And after that, I was like, give me my own gun, and then I want to learn how to use it, where to hold it, do all those things. This is the first time I ever even like held a gun like that. My family, my brothers, my dad, my grandparents, they all hunt deer and things like that up north, but I was never a part of that. And those were shotguns, not rifles. And it's just I never did anything. Here's what, as a kid, my closest thing to anything with a gun was on Saturdays. My dad would let us reload the shotgun shells in the thingy, and that was like create your own at home or whatever. That was the closest thing to any gun experience that I'd ever
a
had.
lot of people are mad at me and they're saying, why would I have ever given you a gun? I had to walk down a very steep embankment because I shot that hog up on top of the berm. And at that point, the berm had just been built. It was muddy.
It was very clunky.
There was holes that hadn't been smoothed out. And that hog I shot was at the bottom of that berm. So I had to walk down towards it, which means kind of sliding down towards it. So I thought the gun was safer in her hands. Hindsight, though, being 2020, yes, I should have done a lot of things differently. So shame on me. And someone says, Alec Baldwin's learning this lesson now.
That's the air compressor.
That's scary. What is that? I'm like,
yeah,
we're talking about scary scenarios.
I need to air up the wagon tires.
Anywho, okay, well that's good. Anyway, I didn't mean to take you away from what you were doing, but
I stink, don't I? That's why you're like,
no. I'm doing a couple of gifts and goodies, and I know I'm taking away from.
Did you apologize because I found them on the shelves?
Yeah, it was look what it was, a Millie and Fiona dog bowls, very heavy duty and with their names on them.
That's adorable.
Aren't they sweet?
I feel bad that they've been on the shelves.
Yeah, we sometimes in transport, y'all, we just don't always.
Well, here's the thing. This summer, sometimes we would be pulling out of the driveway and we would grab packages as we're pulling here with other things that were already open and ready. And I know that in the rush, things have gotten just tousled. So I have a video coming out about some of our shortcomings. I'll just say that.
Life lessons, Jamie. All right, hop 2.
AKA, she doesn't want to hear
life lessons. No, I just told everyone I wouldn't keep them long, and I know we got things that we want to get done.
Yeah.
All right, I'm almost done, my friends. There's one kind of long one here on top. So this here comes to, okay, Lester, and it says I'm a survivor, and so. Oh, okay. This here is some kind of bug soother. It's in a spray bottle. I don't know if it's from a company or if it's from an individual. So I'll find. Oh, okay, here we go. All right. Enjoy your gift. This is the best product for animals. You can spray your cats, dogs, horses, goats, and whatever you need to spray. You can also spray yourself. I love you from Idaho. And this lady's name is Becky. So Becky, thank you very much. I don't know why I would spray myself. So is this an after bugs bite you or before is it a repeller? So I'll be curious to find out what that is, but I'll read it a little bit later when I put my glasses on. If I put my glasses on now, you can see that the ring light makes this really funny thing. And I don't want to, you can see that, right? The ring light puts its glare there. I'm almost done. This is the last one. This is wow. Oh, all right. So I see a lot of names on there. That one right there says LE. There's something here that says just something sexy bald. So I'm going to for sure open that because I'm curious what that's going to say. This has been packaged up. So if you don't know, this is wrestling. DX is a wrestling thing. Of course, that's John Cena. That's wrestling. I'm going to read the letter first. To Lester, Jamie, Ellie, and Lex. All right. Oh, look. Lester, please pick out only one white shirt and give Dan and Pawpaw the others. Okay, you think I'm going to take them all for myself? Thank you for that. All right, let me see if I can read this without putting on my glasses. Hey, Lester, Jamie, Ellie, and Lex. I hope you enjoy these gifts. I've had some of them for a while, but I hadn't sent them to you so I could send everyone's together. That's nice of you. The names are on the boxes. I sent a few extra things, a t-shirt for Dan and Paw Paw. I saw a guy in a video with a shirt like it, and I says, "Oh hell no!" I know some bald guys that are all family that are way sexier than him. LOL. Y'all, I'm not making this up. I'm not just making this up. I am reading this verbatim right from this letter right here. Thank you, ma'am. Now I'm blushing. Then she puts LOL. So now I don't know if she's serious or not. Did you have to include the LOL? Did you have to include the LOL? So I made you each one. Yes, I know they're flawed, but I figure you guys will just wear them on the farm anyway. How are they flawed? I'm curious how they're flawed. That's funny. Hey, I'm not perfect and I'm not a professional. I do this for fun and for family. But I do enjoy making cups and stuff. Now, as far as the wrestling stuff, they used to belong to my son. They've been packed away all these years. Now that's I was gonna say that because DX and John Cena they're not in their prime anymore. I don't even know if they all still wrestle. So they were both big names whenever LE was young, and LE's 22 now. Lex is 10, and there's a whole new breed of wrestler out there. That's very kind of you. So she talks a little bit about this get kind of sad. Now, this is the one that did not say to read online or not, and so that's why I'm kind of hesitating now because she talks about how her son passed away at the age of 16. She does say he was in the hospital for 2 years. I'm gonna go ahead and stop reading this one right now because I'm sorry, but I don't know if it was meant to be read. I didn't think about it ahead of time. I wanted to open the package, and I didn't really think if that was something that wanted to be shared with everybody. And it didn't say on there to share. It's okay to share online. But just now that I've read that far, could I at least just let you know that I'm sorry about your son? And I honestly, I don't know. And I said this before, I don't know what to say to people besides I'm just sorry. I'm so sorry. You know, I have sons, and anyone who has kids maybe can't eat. I just imagine there's nothing harder than losing a child. I really don't think there could be anything in life harder than losing a child. Losing a spouse, a life partner would be extremely hard. Losing a parent, a grandparent, anyone that you love, any family member that you love is just extremely hard. But losing a child, I think, would probably be the hardest thing, harder than anything else. And so for what power you have to write that and then to bless my kids with something that belonged to your son who passed, that means a lot to us. And then I want to look at this shirt. I just want to look at the sexy shirt. I want to change the mood. So here's one that's open. Y'all ready to see this? Just another sexy ass bald guy. I love it. Just another sexy ass bald guy. Well, I'm going to put it on. I'll tell you what I'm going to do. I'm going to put it on. Y'all give me a moment, and I'm going to put this on, and then I'm going to tell you this lady's name. I'll tell you that real fast. Her name is Anne. Anne, I recognize your name from emails and from comments. And I'm going to put this shirt on. Give me a second or so. All right. I don't know why you say it's flawed. I don't see anything's flawed about it. Now I put it on over my other one. But just another sexy ass bald man. So what you're seeing, the word sheesh is from my other shirt underneath. But listen, I like it. Let me get both of my cameras where we can all see it. So just another sexy ass bald guy. And so thank you for that. I obviously would not wear it with another shirt underneath like I'm doing right now. Okay, so there you have it. Anne must like bald men. And I hope your husband is okay with that. I hope your husband's not going to have an issue with that. But yeah, we will wear them with pride because me and my brother and my dad all wear our heads shaved. Um, Now, you should know this, Anne, that I'm only half bald. I've always told everyone this. I'm only half bald. I can actually grow an amazing head of hair from here all the way around and down. If I wanted to, I have an amazing head of hair from here down. But that's how I look right there with hair. That's how I look. That's how I look with hair right there. That's all I grow. Now it does get thick and it's curly and it's beautiful. But I look a whole lot like Bozo the Clown. I look a whole lot like Bozo. So I go ahead and just shave the entire thing. I can do it almost every morning if I feel like it. I shave my head as fast as I can shave anything or faster. It's just natural now. It's real easy. I had stopped shaving when I hurt my shoulder. It made it difficult to do this, but now I'm back to being able to move my shoulder and everything. So all that is good. But no, a lot of men, and I see that over here all over the place, that you're better for shaving it all. You're better to shave it all than to have that half head of hair. Some men want to hold on to it as long as they can. And I understand that, y'all, men and women alike. We age and you want to hold on to as much of your youth as you possibly can. But yeah, I've gotten used to how I look with a shaved head, and I'll never have hair again. Even now, with all the new technology and all the hair transplants, and you can grow your own hair naturally, that's not going to happen to me. I like it the way I look now. It's easy and it's clean, and it's just my look. Now I got a really nice shirt to wear around, let everyone know that, you know what, I am just another sexy ass bald guy, is what I am. So thank you, Anne, for that. And Anne, I want to apologize if I was out of line by reading that letter, but I also respect and admire you for the what you've had to overcome. And I hope that anyone else who's had to overcome that know what just how profound it is and how deeply felt of sorry I am. And I wish I had better words. I can't find words. Okay, so there's other things inside that gift pack, but they have names on them, and that is the last of the gifts. I did have this one parcel here. It actually says Celester and Jamie, but I'll go ahead and open it if y'all give me a second. It's been very heavily. Oh, now this is what I like. Look here. Look. The very top. Private letter. Private letter. So that's what I need to know, guys, before I ever show anything. And so I need to be more careful before I just open things online without checking first. And then the last thing, it says to Carl at I'm a Survivor Sanctuary, even though he's at Longhorn Lester's now. What did Carl get? Please use for the hostages. Much love to you all from Teresa. So Teresa, what did you send here? Teresa, don't make me do this. Don't make me get on to you. All right, listen, that's all we got for gifts and goodies, and we're so blessed. And I want to thank y'all for coming on this morning and hanging out with me for a little bit. Didn't know it was going to be a whole hour. I kid you, I did not mean to take an entire hour of your morning. But this does not take place for Jamie in my real life. And maybe we'll try to do it with some puppies. Everyone loves puppies, and you'll not believe how fat they're getting, how healthy and how strong. And so I'm going to go ahead and just say thank you. And to all of you moms, and for all of you men and grandparents who also play mom, good, good, and bless you for that. And just know that everyone knows what an honorable profession that is. And so, thank you for the gifts, the goodies, the pepper spray. God forbid Jamie ever get upset with me. I don't think she'd ever shoot me. I don't think she'd ever shoot me, but I don't know about that pepper spray. That may be something that she might be tempted to do. God forbid. What have we done here? What monster have we all created? And will I ever take this shirt off? Will I just go around forever wearing this shirt? Is this going to be my newest shirt? And you're going to see me every day. And will I have enough willpower to give these other ones to my dad? Or am I just going to keep them all so I can just trade them out on occasion when they start smelling bad? So I will say this: go Cowboys. Don't be upset. Don't hate me. I told you I'm going to stay regional. And if there's no Texans, I got to go to the next level, which is Cowboys. Okay. And then after, if the Cowboys lose it all, now they're playing San Francisco, if I'm not mistaken. So I don't really have any ties to the San Fran area. I don't know anybody in the San Francisco area. I'm trying to think. I do know some Californians. I have friends in California who I've met here. Lisa is Northern California, so that might be close to San Francisco. And then Chris is, I think she's in San Diego, which is Southern California. But I'm sorry, I don't know anyone else. So I'm just going to go ahead and go with Dallas because I know tons of folks in Dallas. Hey, our friend Rick, Think Like a Horse, is in Dallas, and we love Rick. So anyway, I'll let you go now. Thank you guys for everything, and we'll see you later on tonight. I think that we agreed on 8 o'clock Central. 8 o'clock Central. All right. And then someone says, bring it on, Cowboys. Philly's waiting for you. Oh boy, that's going to be good. I don't want to get any hard feelings here if the Cowboys win and then just win it all, guys. But I don't think the Cowboys will win today. I think that they're going to lose to San Francisco. And so we'll never end up having to go against the Eagles. That's what I think. I'm going to root for Cowboys, but I don't think they're going to beat San Francisco. Just saying. All right. Thank you all. Have a great day. I want to log out of YouTube first. Thank you, YouTube.